I'm still very closely associated with Solidarity Foundation.
Very much a queer person's right to have a dignified livelihood for them.
We're planning to spread our own cafes, but I want to go that big. Organizations, institutions, companies, whatever you call it.
There is a whole play that is acted out by elder trans women from Karnataka,
for whom this is just a tick box.
नमस्ते, पप्पू की चाय और चर्चा में आप सबका स्वागत है। मैं हूं आपका होस्ट शेफ राज गांधी और जैसा मैंने आपको बताया था कि मैं हर हफ्ते कोई ना कोई एंटरप्रेन्योर, शेफ और एनीबॉडी फ्रॉम हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री को मैं अपने शो पे लेके आऊँगा। उनसे हम बातें करेंगे, उनके बारे में हम जानेंगे, उनसे पूछेंगे उनकी सेलिब्रेशंस क्या पॉइंट्स थे। जो हमारी बातें उनके साथ में होगी वो मैं आपको दिखाना चाहूँगा। और आज हमारे बीच में है, एज सबको पता है कि इट्स अ प्राइड मंथ, सो नॉट जस्ट बिकॉज इट्स अ प्राइड मंथ वी आर गोइंग अहेड, बट recently, I had a very good opportunity to meet a wonderful lady called Rekha Rao, and she is part of the NGO, and along with her I met Mr. V, and here we have them today on our show for Papu Ki Chai Aur Charcha. And welcome Rekha and welcome V. It's so pleasure to have you today with us, and it is nice to, people feel that it's just because it's a Pride Month we are talking about it, but it's not because of that I happened to meet you for some other work, and came to know about your passion, your enthusiasm in supporting the LGBT community. And I was really surprised, that there are people who are working on these, grassroots level that you told me. So that thought brought me that, okay, we should have you on our talk show, Papu Ki Chai Aur Charcha. And so if you can give me a little brief about you, and then I'll come to V, and it'll be really nice to understand about you. What made you, work towards this? What was your passion? Little bit in short, and then I'll check with V also what he feels. So.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you for the opportunity, and also really appreciate the effort you've taken to make this whole idea of yours social impact. So I have always been inclined towards working with the grassroots community. And I started off working for the education sector, women empowerment, violence against women. And a lot of my interaction with women also led me to the LGBTIQ plus community, and my interaction have predominantly been in the rural areas and not really the urban. And while I've always worked for grassroots organizations, that's when I'm still very closely associated with Solidarity Foundation. So we are an NGO, and we're working for about, this is our 11th year, and we're working for grassroots level LGBTIQ plus community, where we address anything and everything queer beyond the nomenclature of LGBTIQ plus itself. We're culturally bound, and we explore a lot more about this, about the community, and support them. So it's been more than 4 years now, and I feel very close to the community because they give their heart out in whatever they want to do. There's an essence of trust, hard work, for the development. So entrepreneurship is something I'm very passionate about and very close to. So when Solidarity Foundation's executive director, Shubha Chako, was exploring this, whole idea, that's when we sat and spoke to a couple of community members, and we asked, what is it that you're really, really interested about? What makes you happy? And we figured out that there's a person who wants to keep a healthy home and atmosphere, which they miss most of the time. And what more than food? You know, they were like, oh, please come home, let me cook something for you, let me do that, let me do this. It's always about feeding you for them, you know. So they feel connected when you eat the food they give and when you share the food. So that's when the idea of food came, and here we are.
Nice.
2 years later, talking to Papu Chai and hopefully collaborating and strengthening the whole process. We have a beautiful social venture called Pride Cafe right now, and we have a strong team of 16 and odd people, where we have a centralized kitchen, we have cafes, we do catering, and it's completely run by the grassroots LGBTI.
Nice. So, while you're running these cafes and you're running the catering, as you said, so means is it just because people want to be associated with Pride Cafe, or they feel good about it? You know that they are being, the clients I'm talking about, your clients. So, how they approach you means. Are they approaching in a very open-mindedness? Okay, oh, I want to have a catering, but from Pride Cafe. So, is that what they feel comfortable, or are there any questions? When we talk about these.
That's actually a very interesting question, because we and I were just discussing about this. It's Pride Month. June is celebrated as International Pride Month, and we've easily interacted. And also in 2 years, and especially in the month of June, we've interacted with more than 30 corporates. Um, while there's a huge change, and lot of them genuinely want to encourage and look at us at a long term basis, because so far we've never got a question about the quality of the food, because in our kitchen it's done with a lot of love, right? Apart from the recipe and everything, that, you know, technicality of cooking food itself. Having said that, chef, there is still a lot of people, or a lot of organizations, institutions, companies, whatever you call it, for whom this is just a tick box. So we're still navigating, and this month has been like the biggest example for us. Like day before yesterday, we had 5 different events that we were running around for, where 3 of them treated us like queens and kings, you know, and the other two was like, हाँ ठीक है जाओ, हो गया करके जाओ. So it's dichotomy that way. So we're still navigating. There's still a lot of work to do. So yeah, we do find genuinely people who genuinely encourage us and are looking at us from a long-term perspective. But there are people ki, हाँ, इस महीने करना है बस, yeah.
We are not doing this just because this month.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm doing the podcast because definitely from my heart, when I met you, I felt, okay, yes, I need to have you and be on board. So tell me something. I came to know that you're an architect by profession. So, you studied architecture. So how it went when you were in college, learning, and then, you said COVID time you stopped, and then now you're more passionate about cooking. You're a self learned baker. So can you tell me about your journey from architect to baker, and now being part of the Pride Cafe?
Yeah, definitely. So I initially wanted to join hospitality, like that was my first choice. But then again, there's a still a social construct that like men can't be like joining hospitality. Like that was like a very big no from like my parents when I said them, oh, I'm gonna join hospitality, and then they like even we just applied to colleges and they did like let me attend them, and then I kind of like moved to architecture, and I've always had a passion for baking, and I started looking at recipes like DIY videos and all of that, and I slowly started saving up to buy my own oven, and then around say like 4th or 5th year in architecture I got my own oven, and then that's how I started baking, and then I just like was completely in love with the whole process. And since then I used to do like for friends and family, like for small gatherings and all of that. And again, I used to practice architecture in Coimbatore. And COVID hit, like the market was really bad, and then also like parents were not supportive of like certain things as a queer person. So I kind of wanted to move away from like my hometown.
So
So
was it the acceptance of your parents, or that asked you to move, or
yeah, I've
because after
felt
having
I felt the
education
need
as
to like
architect,
move around, like
Okay.
so that like I have more freedom to do things that I would
on your
like to
own,
do.
right? Yeah.
And Bangalore is just the place for everyone who is
I agree. I agree.
following their heart. So I kind of moved here a year ago, and they sent the whole setup here to Coimbatore, like
Okay.
all of my baking instruments and everything. And I set it up in my friend's place, and then I used to do it when I was working in Solidarity Foundation. I still used to do like events, bake for like our employees there. And then I slowly thought like, okay, we have Pride Cafe like in house, and then it would be a better time to like move there and then like focus more on hospitality sector. And
So what you
yeah.
like to cook, bake the best cakes, cookies,
So I generally like infuse alcohol in most of my desserts. So
so
my
like to have
coffee,
a
yeah, like my
drunkard.
coffee, my coffee rum cake is my like bestseller anywhere. Like whenever we go
So
put up
I'll
events.
come to you for the
Yes.
recipe one day.
So yesterday we had an event and we had to like be very careful about it because it was a corporate event, and we made decent cakes and all, and almost in the end we were like, we have a coffee rum cake, and people just got so excited, and it was a
Why we were
day
hiding.
well, they were like, bring it on, and we had a rum party.
Nice.
It was good that way.
So, how long, Rekha, you have been associated with the Pride, the Solidarity group that you are working as an NGO over there? How long it has been? What had been your challenges in that? Because acceptance is, as I said, one thing. The other thing is how you felt while you were working with them. Not from the question is not from being just as a but about the community, how they accepted you, like where, how curious they were, how enthusiastic they were for joining and being into the the life how we all have as a regular sorry to use that word, but as a person, how we live together. So their acceptance, because a lot of people don't like to come and be on the mainstream. So how you made them, I just need to understand, or if you can give us a brief about that side of the community here that we talk about, how they accept it, because I don't know their acceptance as coming and becoming a chef, and I feel it's a good thing, because they have that knack. So how you felt, how it went, the journey.
Okay. So, Raj, to be very honest, it's like you and I sitting and talking. Or if I talk to any one of the crew members here, it's as simple as that. I think the society has made it into something very different. I didn't have to come and fit into a separate system. And relationship with solidarity goes way back. Even when I was with other organizations, I was always a part of solidarity through other organizations and all. So the connection with the queer community itself goes more than 7 or 8 years old. I've been interacting with them, and it's just all about you being yourself with no prejudice and they being themselves. I mean, I think we have, because of the lack of knowledge that the society itself has, we just thought there's a male and there's a female, and there's no one else. And even what currently we are doing, that they're called the third gender. So who really is the first and the second
I
gender?
see. I'll definitely agree with you. The thing is, I guess this happened during British Raj.
Exactly.
In our history, if you look at it, they were accepted as, as part of the whole family, So we never ever had any, if you look at the stories, means I can only say stories because they're history for us and we haven't, but any story that you pick it up, whether it was the Mughal era or that was Mahabharata or Ramayana, any story that you look at, our granthas have. So they were part of normal life, means till today, everybody wants them for happiness when they come in, They want to be celebrated. They want them to be with us on our happiness, They join us. So it was part of, I think it was very normal. We never ever had.
Absolutely. I completely agree. The whole idea of standardization came with the capitalism, westernization, and everything we have. Nothing in what we do is standardized at all.
Right.
And that was the same experience with queer it's not like they are accepting me or I'm accepting them. The first interaction was always one of respect. Like it's as simple as the way you spoke to me as well, at the beginning. Said, listen, correct me if I'm wrong. So this is what I know, and let's talk and let's understand. I think that is all that is required. For me, when I met them, we just sat under a tree, we cracked jokes, I let my vulnerable side out, they felt comfortable, they spoke. It's like interacting with anyone else. To be very honest, so far in my journey, the problem I faced working with the queer community is actually from the patriarchal cis community that I have, like those are families or elders or colleagues or, contemporaries, where they say, how can you do that? I'm like, the way I'm talking to you. Yeah. Like, I've till date I've not understood that concept. For me, it was the first time working with women. It was the first time working with tribal women. It was the first time working with queer community. It's the first time working with you.
You're right.
It's as simple as that. Maybe it's the first time interacting with any one of them there. So it's not a big deal. And the best is we had a connection of food. We were like, hey, what do you cook? What do you think about this? Can you cook something for me? Okay, let's do that. Let's do this. So that aspect bound us even better because all of us were foodies somewhere. Whenever we were talking, like even now my mouth is watering thinking about the food tasting sessions and everything. So it was a very, very smooth flow.
Nice.
And I think that's relevant to anyone under the sun, unless and until you respect the other human.
Other person, yeah. We should respect as human beings. That's what it is all about, But as you said, you worked with grassroots, going into villages, and so what was your thought process? Like, why you took this as one area to support them? And the other thing is, why only food? Means, aren't they like? He's an architect, which is something I feel very, I feel proud that, if anybody wants to do something, can do it, achieve it. So is it that they're more comfortable cooking? That's one of the reasons, or or any other acceptance is not there, that they are more not, or it's the education point, which is easier for them to come into the kitchen and, do cooking.
That's a very interesting question. So, why I started off working with the grassroots is I've been traveling all my life. I love to travel. And most of the travel was to venture into villages and sit and just have a chat with them, understand what their culture is and what kind of different cuisines they make, and what is their everyday lifestyle. This is my kind of travel. So with this travel, knew I'm not an AC person. I couldn't. I just still can't figure out the lift system in a corporate building. The minute I enter, I'm like, oh my God, what should I do next? Where should I go? So for me, I found comfort and there was no looking back. So that's the reason I was like, okay, I am going to go. Anything that put me back in the village, I'll work. And NGO was the only system, that really does it. So this was my obvious choice, and I've never looked back. I've felt at home. Even if I think about venturing into any, I've been working on my startups too, and all of these are always connected to villages and livelihood for them and empowering them. To the second question about why did the community choose cooking, there are various aspects we add if you
Yes.
want to. See, one is of course education. There's a lot of dropout rate when it comes to the community. The second is because of the stigma that's attached with the community, they're not really allowed to venture out at a very early age. There's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of violence that's connected. So they are put, or they are very close to taking care of the house and the household chores. That's the second thing. And the third thing is non-availability of the job as well, right? We're still way behind. The educated lot are very few, and they're very limited to the urban setup. Most of them from the rural setup drop out when they are in fifth standard or maximum 10th standard. So all these things, and so food or cooking is like therapy to them, or feeding others and making them happy, or at least finding acceptance through food is very close.
See what happens. Food is something, as we say, na, it's root through your stomach, connecting. So food makes, and if somebody says, "Oh, the food is really nice," it's everybody feels very happy. So, but as you are an architect, so what do you feel? Means how you feel if you like to start educating someone, or are you doing something of that sort that people should, from fifth, the dropout rate should be little lesser, and we can give them some better opportunities.
In terms of like from an organizational point of view, like we still have like a lot from Solidarity Foundation. We do certain skill development courses with them, especially in terms of design. Like AutoCAD is one of those softwares that like a lot of people use for doing layouts.
Right.
So through Solidarity Foundation, we do that as a skill-based training for a lot of our community folks, where
Nice.
they just can get into that training
Correct.
of like AutoCAD for say like 8 to 10 months, and then they can become a drafter like in your architectural offices. So
Exactly.
and also there has always been like a lot of community folks who've been interested in interior designing, right? So we kind of have like connections with Edumetric. They are our training partner with Solidarity Foundation. So if there is more people who are like looking for a certain skill-based training, we kind of opt into that, and that is taken care of by our livelihood team. So
That's great. So when I had met you, Rekha, last time, you said you are planning to start Queernama concept that is on food cafes. So tell me something about your Queernama, your cafe, and is this going to be just you or association, or you'll be more than happy that if somebody wants to start something, as an entrepreneur, you will be able to assist them, help them. So tell me something about this new journey that you said Queernama that you want to launch. So I'd like to know what exactly are we talking about.
Okay. So Queernama is definitely an offshoot of Pride Cafe itself.
Right.
So where we want to structure it better and also encourage a lot of queer food entrepreneurs who are in the food space, right? And also at a very professional level associate with various companies and organizations and everything. So we'll again have the idea of Solidarity will train members from the queer community in hospitality industry in baking, servicing, or cooking food. And Queernama will observe a lot of these members, yes, and start off our own cafes. We are planning to spread our own cafes, have more food trucks, and go national as well, and go online. There's a lot of support right now, Chef. Unlike earlier days, a lot of them are coming forward to associate with us. Some, like I also told you, very genuinely want to associate. Yeah. Like, for example, ONDC, the Small Industry Development Bank of India, have been like saying, please, get a GST registration and let's onboard you on, ONDC. Right. Zomato has been very, very supportive. And a lot of companies who funded Solidarity Foundation itself for Pride Cafe. So this is going to be an offshoot. And someone as enthusiastic like Papu Chaiwala as well, we want to bring in that. See, the minute you talk about a grassroots community, there's a dichotomy, and what the corporates want now, there's a huge difference. We are very, if I may say, beautifully raw in the way who we are. Got it. We don't really know to fancy and do things, but we find beauty in our rawness. But the needs have to be met according to the market. Exactly. So collaboration with somebody like you who's so experienced, something like Papu Chaiwala, which has been there, done that, and have the experience, learning from you, collaboration with partners like you, is what Queer Nama is saying, so that it's a very big message that goes out to the society, saying that you don't have to be alone in this fight, and it's changing. And it's high time, don't you think? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So,
and while you're doing this, and you had like Pride Cafe trucks, food trucks, and you said there are a lot of other people, corporate, are interested. So, is there any pan India, people coming to you? That what you are doing here, like something in Mumbai, Pune, are there any NGOs who are running and they would like to get associated for a pan India thing, that you can develop a Pride Cafe or a Queer Nama for them? Is there any queries for you guys, how to expand yourself? So that is another question that I have for you.
So, to be very honest, the corporates have asked us if you can cater to, these many places, especially Pune, Delhi, Hyderabad, Hyderabad and everything. Pride Cafe, I think we'll need about 6 more months to do that. As such, when you're talking about, there is queer-run kitchens. There's queer-run restaurants in a couple of places. Okay. But Pride Cafe itself is quite a unique idea where we have grassroots level working. Right. So we are thinking, in fact, we and I were also discussing that we'll stabilize Bangalore. Once we have a hold, we are planning to develop a standardized training system as well, where we can go to different cities, set up a mini kitchen there and start expanding.
Which is a very good thought, but as you know, India have a different languages. So here we have Kannadigas, when you're taking people from grassroots, so definitely, all are not speaking English or Hindi, when you go pan India. So like if you are in Maharashtra, for example, you start something in Pune. So mostly it will be either Marathi or Hindi. So how would you be able to tackle that point? Because communication is key, so how you think, if you do it, how, or you will be having somebody local along with you, those who are working. So any thoughts on that yet? Because you still said it's approximately 6-8 months down the line, but anything that one does, you need to plan yourself. So it's just an idea. It's just a question that if you have anything in your mind, you will incorporate locals over there who can help you, your brand, to, like in Pune and in Hyderabad, you need Telugu speaking, because most of them, they speak local language, so how you will tackle that problem?
So I think first things first, we are quite connected with the NGOs who are there in other states so to mobilize persons from the grassroots queer community. We'll of course associate with other organizations or community-based organizations in that area. For example, in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, we're already working. And we have very strong organizations we also support. That will be the queer part of it. And for the operational part of it, and to learn the market and to start off, I think, again, coming back to companies like you, associating with companies which is already pan India, like Papu Chaiwala, would be very helpful for us, right? So that way, it's very easy for us to spread pan India. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because we always like are very strong with our CBOs, community-based organizations in other states as well, and like the community is like just at our access, and we always can like
Means you just have to connect
language.
with
Yeah,
them
language
and
wouldn't be
wouldn't
a
be a
trouble at
problem.
all.
You just explain exactly what you want, and you have the people to do it, which is very, very good. You know, the networking. And I feel ki, coming from hospitality myself and managing restaurants or helping as a consultant, I feel the most difficult is the manpower. In our industry, people leave like very quickly.
Yeah.
I got my salary and next day they are not there. So they will love to come, continue with. So it's a very very, very, I feel very good to have something like this, where they have this commitment, they have the passion, they want to be part of it, and the acceptance. So that's very important. And as you said, ki you there's some mutton dish you were talking about. So we'd definitely like to know what exactly it is.
So, talki is a very Karnataka-based mutton dish that is made by like transgender women in their like community living space. It's like what to say, if someone has like newly had their gender affirmative to surgery, or if they've had a really good day in the business that day, the talki is the first thing that they make. Like the elder trans woman in the community would like ask for the like younger ones to go like buy some mutton, and then it's a very slow cook process.
Really?
They make it around like for 3 to 4 hours. It's like it's like a
Very
mutton
dum
chukka.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
like they
okay.
do that with just like chilies, some masala and mutton, and then it slow cooks for like a lot of hours. And a lot of community folks have like very heartful connection towards that particular dish. And there's a whole play that is acted out by elder trans women from like Karnataka. They're all around like 45 to 50 year plus, and then they're all like brilliant people who've like acted out the whole play. And they've like screened it like at least 5 or 6 times in like the past year. So there are a lot of dishes like that.
So to enjoy that mutton curry, we need to have some celebration,
Yeah.
colleague, or we can come and have anytime.
Yeah, anytime.
We have our kitchen, so
Right.
please feel
Oh, yeah.
free to come
No,
and have.
definitely
Yeah.
I'll be coming and visiting your kitchen, and we'll look at how we can support and train as when it comes to food point of view. But yeah, it is very interesting because being a chef, for me, food again, as everybody likes it, I love food. So, and I get excited when something new I hear and I have never tasted or never tried. So definitely that's one of the things that I look forward. And if any celebrations happen, please do let me know. If I'm in town, well, I'll come and enjoy the mutton. So, Rekha, it's pleasure, but then I need to understand one thing. Where you see next 5 years, and where you see yourself next 5 years, and what message you like to give to everyone, working with the community, the acceptance. So some words from you, because you have been working closely. So before we end our podcast, I'll definitely want you to say a few words on this, and you also, please. Yeah. Means sorry. From me, I like to know what all you accept from everyone. That.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So that
So, mainly in terms of from like a livelihood perspective, it's very much a queer person's right to have a dignified livelihood for them,
Right.
as well as anyone else for that matter. And for us specifically, in terms of Pride Cafe and Queer Nama for the next 5 years, and for me, we are strongly looking at building our product line. especially with like we mentioned, there are very like authentic dishes that are close to the community that we want to like put them in
Bring
the
it to the main,
mainstream
yeah, exactly.
and go big on products on them. Like there are a lot of dishes from northern Karnataka like that our community folks make,
Right.
and we are looking at innovations in terms of that. Like, and one like very recent one was there is a roti that is made out of corn, and then we kind of wanted to do a nacho line in that.
Mhm.
So things like that, where we identify community-based like dishes that are very like rooted with them, and then do like upgrade of that. Like a talki could become a wonderful
curd means if it is
pickle line that could become,
pickle,
because
or
it's-
even as a
yeah,
starter in any.
yes,
Because
definitely. So
as you said, it's a slow cooked and dry.
yes, yeah.
So definitely it can be
these
a
are some things that we are very excited about for
Mhm.
Pride Cafe for the next 5 years.
That's great. That's great. And what about you, Rekha?
5 years is a lot of time.
Yeah, but it's like that's the
Yeah,
way,
yeah, yeah. I
नेहरू जी दे गए थे हमारे को 5 साल का, 5 वर्षीय योजना की what we see, how we look, we may be successful in those, we may not be, not everything will be happy, not everything will be sad, but at least we have a learning process for next 5 years and take things further. So what do you think about Kyarnama as another journey that you're going to start yourself very soon?
Raj, I've worked extremely. I've worked with the community before, but I've worked with them very closely through Pride Cafe, right? And the kitchen space is a safe space. Like, every Saturday or whenever there's a holiday, they're very excited to come back, right? And this is not just Pride Cafe or in the future Queernama is not just about their livelihood for us anymore. It's a safe space, it's a happy space, and it's where they've based their trust on. And when they go out in the corporate or any other space and when they're asked to behave in a certain manner, there is a lot of hesitation. They come back, and here they are who they are.
Themselves,
Yeah, they have saris kept in the cupboard.
Right.
So they know on the weekends, hey, listen, let's all dance, let's all cook something. So there's absolutely no restriction here. So they have their trust on Queernama, and we don't want to stop anywhere anytime soon. Like we discussed with you, we want to take it pan India. Pride Cafe or Queernama solves two basic problems. One is that of economic stability for the community through the job which they love and they can be themselves, and also passive awareness building and acceptance through food. It's a very novel step that we started, and it's gained a lot of momentum. So we want to learn more. We want to go national, and with our products international.
So when you said product international, so are you looking something, on a packaging side or, that kind of thing, that it's not necessary that they have to go and work in kitchen, you have a central kitchen. So we produce something from there and it is online sales we have. So you have thought on that as well.
Absolutely. So I think we also want to develop more. We want to associate with people like you more where we can learn. And eventually, we just don't want to be known as, hey, I want to encourage that community, so I'm giving them an opportunity. We want to be a brand where they say we want them because their quality is.
Exactly. That's perfect, because you don't need sympathy. You need, you want them to be part, it's normal.
Yeah, I want to hit the market and I want to buy people by stocks. And we're talking way too much, I think. But I want to go that big. We want to go that big, and the community is ready for that. I think with the right guidance, with the right advices, and understanding the market, food is very close to their heart, and I don't want to see myself looking back at this at all.
Perfect. That's so nice to have you both today on my show. And I will be connecting with you with regards to wild discussion. So you said ki we will be, you have particular dishes. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
mind writing a cookbook on
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Where I
definitely.
can have
Wonderful.
and we can even name the person who is doing that food, and which is not available on a regular menu in any places. That will be something I would be really like to be
Right.
associated. So I'll connect with you, and with you I'll connect on going to tribals and finding their food and giving
Definitely.
it out to the world. We'll plan that,
Sure.
so as and when I have time. But these two things I definitely am taking with me, and I'll come back, because when I decide something, I like to do it. So a cookbook
Yes, yes,
from the
definitely.
community, and what as means I get excited when I hear something which is not there in the market, and we can give it to the people. So we can definitely include that in your menu that we create. So, but yeah, thank you so much for your time, Avi and Rekha. It was really a pleasure having you both today on my show, and we look forward to get associated as well on other part of your journey, wherever you need our help as a chef. I'm more than happy to be with you guys, as I feel I've given enough, means I've earned enough, and I need to give back to the community of, I mean, with everyone. I want to give back to the world what I've learned, and there's always a learning process. So thank you once again for your time, and look forward to seeing with you.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
thank
much.
you. It's been a
It was
pleasure.
it's been a pleasure talking to you since day one. And it's been really nice that you want to associate, you want to encourage, and you want to even explore. And bring it in a part of mainstream, and
Yeah.
get everything. It takes a lot for a person to actually say that and be
It's
there.
fun, I guess.
We also have communities we work with, like Jogappa, Shiv Shakti, who have their own party and who cook their own meal. So we can even do a session,
Yeah, why
shooting
not?
session with them. Go
Exactly.
there, be
Yeah,
with them. They're
yeah.
beautiful musicians.
Yeah, we can look
Wonderful.
into
Yeah,
shoot
yeah.
them and see
Exactly.
what they're cooking.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
bring it on videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Show it to the world.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for the afternoon. Once again, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raj.